In this video, we're ranking every place we visited in 2025, from the ones that didn't stand out to the destination that completely blew us away. This will help you decide what's really worth it when planning future trips. Before we start, just a quick note, just because some places are lower on the list doesn't mean we didn't like them. We genuinely enjoyed all the places we visited last year, but when you rank trips, something has to end up at the bottom. These are simply our personal favorites, not a judgment on the places themselves. Let us know in the comments whether you agree or disagree and how you would reorder this list. Trento is a city in northern Italy in the Trentino region. Trento has some beautiful spots like the Fontana del Nettuno and the Trento Cathedral, especially on the inside, but it wasn't one of our favorite stops in the Trentino region, which is why it's our least favorite. Bolzano is a city in northern Italy in the South Tyrol region. Bolzano has some beautiful elements, but the town itself was just okay for us. We really enjoyed taking the cable car up for the views, but as soon as we were starting to go up, the weather changed and it started raining. We couldn't stay at the top for long and had to come down quickly. Sillans-la-Cascade is in southern France in the Var department of Provence. While visiting Sillans, we walked the short trail to the waterfall, Sillans-la-Cascade. The trail is really well done with wooden fences and proper steps carved out. The waterfall itself is beautiful and the watercolor is stunning. It's not high on the list because, well, it's just a waterfall. If you are in the area, definitely stop by, but it's not worth a special detour. Dinard is in western France in the Brittany region. Dinard was a bit of a letdown, mostly because of the weather. Again, the houses are really spectacular, and on a sunny day, we probably would have enjoyed it even more, but it was cold, windy, and rainy, so we decided to move on to the next place. Limeuil is in southwest France in the Dordogne department. It's a tiny village, but don't get us wrong, it's stunning, and it was once voted one of the most charming villages in France. We really did enjoy it, but it's low on the list because we visited so many other places that wowed us even more. If you go, definitely check out the Mairie, the town hall, and have a drink by the river overlooking the bridge. Ob is in southern France in the Var department of Provence. Ops was one of the towns we visited during our Provence trip in September. We went to see the farmers market and the brocante, which is apparently the biggest in this part of Provence. The market was great and the town was cute, but it wasn't our favorite stop on the trip. Vin is in Normandy in northern France near Mont Saint-Michel. We didn't really see the town of Vin, we drove past it, but it's on the list because we stopped at a crêperie on the side of the road here and had some delicious crepes and galettes, which are typical in Normandy and Brittany. Plus the service at the restaurant was excellent and it was so charming inside. Omaha Beach is in northern France in the Normandy region. This place is low on the list because it wasn't super beautiful per se. However, the reason why it's not all the way at the bottom is because the history, of course, is extremely fascinating, and standing where the D-Day happened is an experience everyone should live at least once, especially if you're interested in learning about World War II history. Granville is in Normandy in northern France. Even though it's low on our list, it's a cute town and worth a visit. It's known for seafood. We had some delicious moules frites here, which are mussels and fries. Check out our Normandy video for more on that. There's also a beautiful lighthouse, Phare Cap de Lihou, which is perfect for watching the sunset over the water. Unterammergau is in southern Germany and Bavaria. We had a delicious traditional Bavarian meal here, and the waiters wore traditional German clothes while we enjoyed the snowy town view that you could see from the little window. It was beautiful, but we didn't stay long enough to really get the feel of the town, and while we liked it, it wasn't our favorite stop on our Bavarian road trip. Füssen is in southern Germany and Bavaria, near the Austrian border. We visited in the winter and thought it was beautiful, especially the colorful houses and the church. But we've seen photos here in the spring and summer, and it looks even more amazing then, so we'll probably have to come back when the weather is better. Asturias is a region in northern Spain along the Atlantic coast. We went in July to escape the unbearable Madrid summer heat. Asturias has a beautiful coast with lots of greenery and small towns with white houses. We really enjoyed it and would recommend visiting. We stopped in cute towns like Cudillero, Lastres, Covadonga, Cangas de Onís, Puerta de Vega, and Riva del Garda, and loved having seafood at the restaurants by the water, especially the views from the Mirador de San Roque in Lastres. Pisa is a city in central Italy in the Tuscany region. This was one of the stops on our Mediterranean MSC cruise. Obviously, the highlight is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. We were mostly excited to take the classic photo holding up the tower. We did it and could finally tick it off our bucket list. Bergerac is in southwest France in the Dordogne department. We went here to see the statue of Cyrano de Bergerac and didn't expect much from the town itself, but we were pleasantly surprised. The half-timbered houses are beautiful, and one of the highlights was just sitting on a bench looking out over the Dordogne River. Cotignac is a small town in southern France in the Var department of Provence. It's one of the prettiest towns we visited, with charming streets, colorful shutters, and little shops. A great thing to do is wander around and then stop for a drink in Cours Gambetta, the main square full of cafes and restaurants. We had drinks there and a toasted brioche bun filled with lavender ice cream, and it was so delicious. Rennes is a major city in western France and the capital of Brittany. We had been here before but decided to come back during our Brittany trip. It's known for its mix of medieval half-timbered houses and modern buildings, and there are a lot of cafes, parks, and museums. The first time we visited, we had an amazing tartine, which is basically an open-faced sandwich, usually on rustic bread. Brussels is the capital city of Belgium in the Brussels capital region. We have been to Brussels twice, and there is a reason for that. The first time we went, it was Christmas, which of course gave it a magical vibe. In 2025, we went in the winter, but not during Christmas, so it wasn't the same. Although we love other cities in Belgium more, Brussels has beautiful architecture, especially the golden details on the buildings in the Grand Place. We go into more details about our trip to Brussels in this video here. Unterammergau is in southern Germany in Bavaria. This was one of the last villages we visited on day 5 of our Bavarian road trip during Christmas, and wished we got there earlier to fully enjoy the town because it was so beautiful. Possibly one of our favorites just by what we could see from the car. The buildings were so beautiful, everything was so cute, the streets were full of snow. Unfortunately, we didn't walk around because it was snowing and it was freezing. Haarlem is in the Netherlands in North Holland. We've been here before, the first time in summer and this time in winter. Summer has a great vibe with terraces full of people having drinks, people out on their bikes, and just a really good energy overall. Winter is special too, with a more cozy, moodier feel and mist over the canals. Definitely take a walk down to the main river. It's beautiful with all the boats and the lights. Périgueux is in southwest France, capital of Dordogne department. Périgueux is easy to explore with lots of small streets and squares. The main highlight is the Saint Front Cathedral, a 12th century church with 5 domes, and the inside is just as impressive with beautiful stained glass. The best view of the cathedral is from the Pont de Paris bridge. One thing that really stood out to us is how clean and well kept the city feels. You can tell people really take pride in their city. Malcesine is in northern Italy on the eastern side of Lake Garda in the Veneto region. This village is low on the list, not because it isn't beautiful. It has lovely spots like having a drink in the main port while watching the boats come and go. But some of the other towns we'll mention later felt more beautiful overall. Fougères is in Brittany in western France. We visited in mid-April and the highlight was exploring the public gardens by the cathedral. They're full of flower beds, ponds, and a gazebo, and you get a great view over the village and the fortress. Gouda's in the Netherlands in South Holland. We love Gouda and not just the cheese, although that's great too. We've been here before in both summer and winter. It's beautiful in the summer and you can have a drink in the main square with a view of the town hall, but we actually prefer the winter vibe. It feels much cozier. Avranches is in Normandy in northern France. We visited in April and it's definitely worth adding to your Normandy itinerary. The highlights were the cathedral, the lookout at the public garden with a view of Mont Saint-Michel in the distance, and having delicious pastries at Éclat des Fèves like the caramel flan and the salted caramel eclair. Probably the best eclair we've ever had. Delft is in the Netherlands in the South Holland province. We visited during Easter, and the highlights for us were going back to the Royal Delft factory and buying an ornament. We had to return because we dropped the one we got the last time we visited. And we also just love seeing the hand-painted ceramics. Beynac-et-Cazenac is in southwest France in the Dordogne department. It's a beautiful old village on a hill, and we visited at the end of June. We loved walking through the streets and going up to see the castle. You can walk uphill, but we had a car, so we drove instead. The castle is so impressive, but even more impressive are the views over the valley at the panorama. Another highlight is walking by the river. Honfleur is in northern France in the Normandy region. This is a beautiful town and the main highlight is the Vieux Bazin, surrounded by colorful buildings, restaurants and cafes. We had delicious galettes at Je Crêpe d'Envie, a cute little restaurant on one of the side streets. Bordeaux is a major city in southwest France in the Nouvelle-Aquitaine region. This is one of our favorite cities in France and a regular stop on our road trips from Spain. The food scene is great. The city has a really great vibe. It's also a good alternative to Paris if you want a similar feel but something a bit different. It also has a river, the Garonne, and beautiful Haussmann-style buildings. We shared our favorite places to eat in our top 10 things to do in Bordeaux video. Rome is the capital city of Italy in the Lazio region. Rome was another stop on our MSC cruise at the end of May. We arrived at Civitavecchia and took a tourist bus into the city. Our highlights were having a drink at the Capitoline Museum's rooftop with views over the ruins and eating pizza while sipping a Ugo Spritz in one of the side streets. Just a heads up, even at the end of May, it can get very hot in Italy, up to 31 degrees Celsius. Mittenwald is in southern Germany and Bavaria, near the Austrian border. We have fond memories of Mittenwald because we spent Christmas morning here. We booked a restaurant in advance, and on Christmas morning we walked through the snow to the town center, about 10 minutes from our hotel, and enjoyed our Christmas meal there. Riva del Garda is in northern Italy in the Trentino region at the top of Lake Garda. It was the starting point for our tour boat on the lake, and late in the evening we enjoyed some Italian food at a restaurant overlooking the water and the sunset, surrounded by mountains. It was so beautiful. Innsbruck is a major city in Western Austria in the Tyrol region. We visited at Christmas and really loved Storybook Alley with all the characters around the buildings, the famous golden roof, and the Christmas market, especially because of the snowy mountain views in the background. It was so beautiful while we enjoyed Kaisersmann. We took caramelized shredded pancakes with powdered sugar and either applesauce or berry compote. Seefeld is in Western Austria in the Tyrol region. When we arrived in Seefeld, everything was covered in snow and it looked magical. We highly recommend visiting in winter like we did. The highlights were drinking warm eggnog by the fire at the Christmas market in the main square by the church and watching the ice rink with the Zeekerk in the background. Dinan is in Brittany as well, in western France. Dinan is full of medieval charm with beautiful half-timbered and stone houses throughout the old town. The Basilique Saint-Sauveur is a must. It looks simple from the outside, but the inside is really impressive. The best view is from the Sainte Catherine Tower overlooking the bridge, port and river. We also stopped for pastries at Jan de Bretagne. The lemon and apple tarts were our favorites, and we couldn't leave without a jar of salted caramel. Our family loves salted caramel. Vitré is also in Brittany in western France. We visited this town during our Normandy-Brittany road trip in April. It felt like stepping into a fairy tale. The half-timbered and classic greystone houses with colorful storefronts were beautiful, and our favorite was the castle, the Château de Vitré, with bluebells growing inside the moat. It was a cloudy day, but somehow that added to the vibe. Saint-Malo is in western France in the Brittany region. It was one of the places we were most excited to visit, and we loved it. It was a cloudy day, which added to the medieval vibe, though Mom would have preferred sunshine. We stopped at Atelier des Crêpes for tasty galettes and a Kir Breton cider with blackcurrant liqueur. Then wandered the streets inside the walled old town. Highlights were the Saint-Vincent Cathedral, a Queen Amande from a local bakery, and walking the full loop along the city walls with views over the beach and port. Budapest is the capital city of Hungary in central Hungary. We went in October, and our favorites were the night river cruise past the Hungarian parliament all lit up and trying chimney cakes at Pilcher. They make them fresh in front of you, rolling the dough around a stick that slowly turns while baking. You can get lots of toppings, but our favorite was the plain one with vanilla sugar. Garmisch is in southern Germany in the Bavarian Alps. The town itself wasn't our favorite since we saw so many during this trip, but the painted buildings, the Luftmalerei, were gorgeous. We also stumbled upon a Christmas market by accident and loved it. We tried there a hot Aperol, warm cheese-filled German sausage rolls, knödels with brown butter sauce. There was another Alpine-style market nearby, serving delicious hot chocolate. We talk more about it in our Bavaria and Austrian Alps road trip video. La Roque-Gageac is in southwest France in the Dordogne department. We went at the beginning of September. The highlight here, right by the river, is taking a guided boat tour. You learn about the river's trading history and see the fort of La Roque-Gageac, an old refuge built into the cliff, and the Château de la Malatrie. Munich is a major city in southern Germany in the Bavaria region. During our Bavarian road trip in the winter, we had to stop in Munich, which is the capital of Bavaria. The main square, called Marienplatz, with the huge Christmas tree, the 2 town halls, and the Glockenspiel, was beautiful while it was lightly snowing. Another highlight was going up St. Peter's Tower for a view of the city. To see our top 10 things to do in Munich, check out this video next. Sirmione is in northern Italy, on the southern tip of Lake Garda in Lombardy. We've been here before but returned during our summer trip in northern Italy. We love walking along the water, crossing the small bridge with flower boxes while boats pass underneath, and heading into the town by the Scaliger Castle. The Piazza Giosue Carducci is especially lovely, and it's a great spot to stop for a drink like an Aperol Spritz and just enjoy the vibe. Lille is a major city in northern France in the Hauts-de-France region. We actually did a day trip from Lille from Brussels, and we explain how in this video. Lille is easy to explore on foot, and most people start at Grand Place, which is only about a 10-minute walk from the train station. Some highlights are the Palais des Beaux-Arts, worth seeing even from the outside, La Vieille Bourse, with its inner courtyard, and the Opera House, which are all close to each other. Kraków is a major city in southern Poland in the Lesser Poland region. This was our first time visiting Poland, and we absolutely loved it. Going in winter and waking up to snow on our first morning probably made it even more magical. We enjoyed walking through the snow in the parks and streets and having delicious Polish meals at cozy underground restaurants. You should check out our Kraków video to see why the restaurants are underground and everything we ate there. Volendam is also in North Holland in the Netherlands. It's a beautiful Dutch fishing village just north of Amsterdam. The highlights were walking along the waterfront and having a traditional Dutch meal at Smit Bochum with views over the water. We visited in winter, so in the evening the mist over the waterfront made the lights and boats feel extra magical. Alkmaar is in the Netherlands in the North Holland province. We've been to the Netherlands a few times but had never visited Alkmaar. We stayed here at the end of January and it quickly became one of our favorite towns. The highlight for us was trying the Alkmaarse kaas soup, a creamy-rich soup made with local Gouda cheese. Sarlat la Canéda is in the southwest France in the Dordogne department. The medieval architecture is the main reason to visit. Walking around feels like stepping back in time. It also is a great place to try local food, especially duck dishes, canard, which the region is famous for. We had some delicious duck confit at Brasserie La Lanterne. For more on what we saw and ate, check out our Dordogne video. Amsterdam is the capital city of the Netherlands in North Holland. We love Amsterdam and we have been here several times. Our favorite things to do are trying traditional Dutch food like poffertjes, exploring the food scene, taking a canal cruise, and this year we visited the Rijksmuseum and loved it. We have a full video on our Amsterdam trip, plus another showing the exact route we take for a Netherlands road trip. Florence is a major city in central Italy in the Tuscany region. This was one of our stops on the MSC cruise. We got off in Livorno and took a tour bus to Pisa and Florence. We've been to Florence before, so it's not high on the list for that reason, but the Duomo is definitely the most impressive thing to see. Rocamadour is in the southwest France, in the Lot department of the Occitanie region. The town is built right into a cliff with a religious complex carved into the rock, including stone staircases, chapels, and a basilica. The views from the top are amazing and the history is so fascinating. If you're in the Dordogne area, it's definitely worth a detour. Portofino is in northern Italy, in the Liguria region on the Italian Riviera. We also visited Portofino on our MSC cruise. We stopped in Genoa, took a bus to Santa Margherita, and then a boat to Portofino. It was our favorite stop on the cruise, and the highlight was having lunch and cocktails while looking over the port. Étretat is in northern France in the Normandy region. This is one of our favorite spots in northern France. Go on a clear day so you can really see the cliffs and the color of the sea properly. We visited in April and highly recommend doing the same. There are lots of great viewpoints and we have a full Normandy video if you want more details. Herzogstalbahn is in southern Germany in Bavaria, in the Bavarian Alps. We took the cable car to the top and definitely recommend it. The views over the mountains and lakes are amazing. And there's a cafe at the top where you can just sit and enjoy the views. We share prices and tips in our Bavarian Austrian Alps video, so definitely go check that out. Lago di Carezza, or Carezzi, is in northern Italy in South Tyrol in the Dolomites. We visited during our Dolomites trip and it was one of our absolute favorite places. The water is an incredible bright turquoise and completely clear. We were lucky to see it on a sunny day. If you go, try to plan for good weather, otherwise you won't get the same view. I know a few people that went on a cloudy day and they said it just wasn't the same. They were so disappointed. Limeuil sul Garda is in northern Italy on the western side of Lake Garda in Lombardy region. This was one of our favorite spots on Lake Garda and it really lives up to its name, with lemon details everywhere and shops selling all kinds of lemon products. The lake views are beautiful and the town is full of little ports and bougainvillea. We also had some of the best ice cream we've ever had, a lemon sorbet served inside a frozen lemon. It sounds touristy, but it was honestly so good. Definitely go to the exact spot that we went to because a few of these places sell the same kind of ice cream. We go into more detail about it in our Lake Garda video. Moustiers-Sainte-Marie is also in southern France in Provence, a commune in the Alpes de Haute-Provence department. It's one of the most popular villages in Provence, and for us, it really lives up to the hype. We love the star hanging between the cliffs, the colorful shutters, and how the village is built right into the rock. The waterfall running through the town pulls it all together, and it's absolutely worth stopping if you're in the area. Tourtour is a small village in southern France in the Var department of Provence. We stayed here during our Provence trip in September and were told it would be beautiful, but it still exceeded our expectations. Our guest house was right in the center, so we could walk everywhere, to the farmers markets, flea markets, and the main square. The evening in the square were especially nice, and the view from the church at the top of the hill looking over the valley is incredible. Neuschwanstein Castle is in southern Germany in the Bavarian Alps. We didn't go inside, unfortunately, but even seeing it from the outside was enough to rank it this high. We visited in winter during the Christmas holidays, and the snow made it feel like a real winter wonderland. It's one of the most beautiful castles we've ever seen. Next time, we definitely come earlier to make the most of the daylight and take a horse-drawn carriage to the top, which costs €8. Verdon Gorge is in southern France in the Provence-Alpes-Côte d'Azur region. Renting a small boat and driving it ourselves through the gorge was one of the highlights of our Provence trip. The water is a bright turquoise, the cliffs on both sides are really impressive, and the whole experience feels very peaceful. If you're visiting Provence, this is something we really recommend. Watch our Provence road trip video to see the one thing we wish we'd done differently at Verdon Gorge. And finally, number 1 is the Dolomites mountain ranges and alpine towns. The Dolomites mountain ranges are in northern Italy in the South Tyrol and Trentino Alto Adige region. We visited towards the end of summer in mid-September, which is a great time to go. The drive was beautiful with lots of greenery, mountain peaks, and cable cars passing right by. We stopped in several small villages with flower pots on almost every balcony. And one of our favorites was Ortisei. Definitely head over to our Dolomites road trip video for more details. Thank you for watching. Let us know in the comments if you visited any of these places or you're planning to visit any of them this year. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Safe travels!